Zodiac Hollow here, representing Frizz Gang. Today I'm going to bring a Berserk discussion video. Hold up, let me pause this. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. But, Berserk discussion video. Before I get any further, this might be a little lengthy. The points I'm going to present, considering how long the series has been running for, I'm not going to claim any originality on any of this. I didn't do much research. This is all just based off of what I've read and just my thoughts on the overall story and where it might be going. So, first point, Casca and her memories. What's going to happen next chapter, basically, once we get this final fragment? One thing I noted that it seemed like the Guts versus Griffith fight going on in the dream world didn't finish yet, so I was wondering if that's gonna, however that plays out, is that gonna end up helping Shirk and Farnies escape, or is it gonna make it harder for them, assuming Griffith wins? Another thing I thought of right after that was, will just getting the fragments together end up like expelling like that darkness and just like being like the ticket out of there? But given how the series is and everything we went through, I don't think that's going to be like a complete cure, so to say. It'd just be too light. You could also argue though that given everything she's been through, it could be a payoff for it to sort of balance it out. But again, it also just seems like a little too easy. Like, okay, we got in here, fought through these dream demons, we seen a light Guts versus Griffith fight, which is going to be the next thing I'm going to bring up later, but like I said, so, oops. You gotta love earphones. I gotta get wireless ones. Anyway, back to the first point. Okay, so they get the fragments. Do they come together? And if they do, what next? Do they like kind of synergize together and fuse to kind of manifest like a cured Casca within the dream world? And then what next? Do they just talk to her there? Like, oh, hey, now that we've got all your memories back together, is there some sort of discussion that might happen there? Is Casca going to be like, oh, thanks for bringing me back together? Or is she going to be like, is she even been aware of the things that have been going on since then? I mean, we have the final fragment is like the child that was born after the tower of the asshole that had the block that raised them up to the final fragment. You know where I'm talking about. Is that child still going to play a part? Because I know we've had the other flashback scenes, or not flashback scenes, but there'd be instances where the son would help out Guts in certain ways, and you'd have like a more just like a young human appearance and not like super gross and grotesque. Going back to my notes here on my laptop. Yeah, so like, are the fragments, or like, I don't know, say we had that little Casca. What if all the memories being there kind of just help, I don't know, complete her? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, actually. Like, having the fragments together would bring the dream world Casca, the little one, back to like a normal state in there, like just all being together. And then would that take part in like the discussion, or what might end up getting Casca out of there, or helping her get into her right mind? There's a lot of weird stuff to think about here, so where was I at? Also, another thing that I asked myself was like, well, going from that, will it be like an immediate boot once all the pieces come together, like coming back to the darkness being expelled? Maybe the darkness won't be expelled so much as suppressed, and maybe they just get booted out. Well, Casca kind of coming back, but then her just kind of like being able to put speech together and then just being completely aware of what's going on, but maybe like confused. And is that going to be the point where they're going to have to bring up everything and just like bring her up to speed on certain things from there? Or is that just going to help like bridge the gap of everything from just this experience alone? Like she's seen and experienced things obviously since the Tower of, I can't remember, Arc, but obviously she wasn't in the right state of mind, so it's kind of hard to say if the memories in between there have been recorded in the back of her mind, and they're kind of surfacing now that all her memories and everything else has been like put back together after being outside of her mind. And will she just kind of know from there and just kind of isolate herself for a little bit, or will she just kind of like her reaction? She's a strong woman, but that's mad nightmarish. So I don't know. Those are just some of the ideas I had there. Now I know I just kind of went this to that to this to that. Going from there, I feel like, where was I in my? Okay, so I mean, one other thing I asked myself too is like, okay, say she does come back with like her initial memories, and then she's just like, why did you do this? And she's just questioning, like, I was happy with the way I was. I wasn't here. You're better off. You were better off just killing me. She could say something like that, or she could. I don't know. I don't know if she'd really be happy. I'm sure on one end I don't know. It's really hard to say because she shut her own self out because it was just too much for her, So that's another thing that comes to mind, after they, mostly cure her when she comes out of it, is that where the whole confrontation with everybody's going to ensue? Because I feel like it would make more sense being on the outside of the dream world. But on another thing I was thinking about too, what if they had that whole convo or confrontation before leaving the dream world, or at least a partial conversation to sort of help give some padding for what she's gonna kind of prep her for what to expect when she comes out of it into the real world. So I don't know. There's a lot of different possibilities here. And now where else? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I was asking, what if she asked him to kill her? And then I was just thinking, I know some people might criticize that and be like, that's ridiculous. But, as I said before, considering what she went through, what kind of world they're in, what Griffith is like now, what he's capable of, it's really hard to say. Now, you could also use that to also argue that might also sort of strengthen her resolve, like, hold on. Like she has some feeling left, like, I don't know, some feeling about Griffith that she feels like this might be, like, I don't know. Let me just continue reading here. I'm a little slow today. I slept a lot and I'm still trying to wake up, so excuse me. Think about what she went through. You could also could be what motivates her to come back with him, or another possibility is to say that Dream Guts loses to Griffith. Casca attempts to. Okay, so all right. So when I came up with these notes, I knew there was something I was forgetting to bridge here. So going back to what I was saying, while in the dream world. Those are just all the possibilities I was just thinking of. Now this is just going back to what could be happening in the dream world. Excuse me, it's raining. I need to do something as soon as I'm done with this video. But going back into the dream world's okay, so we'll just assume Casca gets brought back together while within the dream world, and while they're there, you know, Guts loses the fight against Griffith there, and then as a way to kind of prove like her resolve or just show like how she feels towards Griffith while within the dream world, still could be trying to stand up to him after he comes back. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, like maybe not just with the sword, but maybe she just says something to kind of reaffirm the resolve, and maybe not actually fights him head on, but just doesn't show any fear while retreating with the party, to just kind of just show that, you know, she's back. But I feel like there's something about that doesn't sit right with me. I mean, the thought came to mind obviously, but I feel like there's another argument that could go against that. That would because it seems like a little too easy for her to just come back together and just be like, hey, I'm just already, you know, strong-minded to resolve. I could stand up to this asshole. It just seems a little much, I guess. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember where I was going with that. So Casca says something while in the dream world Griffith is rushing to them, and then again, I feel like I had some other way of bridging this, but excuse my quote-unquote blasphemy. This could give Casca and Guts' son like an opportunity to kind of step in and save them all, and then help them leave the dream world, because he's one of the fragments. You know, maybe there's some sort of ability he inherited, or maybe because he's within the dream world, you know, the way things have been working there, it might work to his advantage and help them fend off this dream Griffith that's going to attack them before they escape. I know there's a lot of maybe reaching here, but hey, this is what I was thinking of at the time. So if there's anything to criticize or anything to sort of help my arguments or anything else, feel free to add so in the comment section below. Likes, dislikes are welcome. Like I said in my description, I'm not here to be super high quality professional. This is just for fun. So back to this. All right, so all right, this is kind of transitioning into what my next point is, and it's going to be the foreshadowing of the final battle with Guts and Griffith. The whole idea of Casca and Guts' son being one of the key elements in helping them win this final battle with Griffith, if that's going to be a thing. And one idea I kind of had about the way that would end is, well, first off, the first like small idea I had was going to be, all right, Guts and his family, they all do 1v1s of a respective member of Griffith's crew. So Guts versus Griffith, Serpico versus one of the apostles, and then Shirk against another apostle, and so on and so forth. That was one idea. Or it was going to be something like, by the way the story's going, it seems like Guts just slowly taking out these apostles one by one by himself. So say he does that, and then all that's like really left is Griffith. And then instead of it being a 1v1, maybe it'll start out like that. But given the fact that Griffith has like all these broken abilities now, he could change causality. He could just repel things. Like, I don't know, he's broken. And all Guts really has is this sword that's just been soaked in demon blood, so it allows him to attack things from other worlds and physically hurt them. So, you know, that's like a normal type being able to attack ghost types and shit with no problem. But and he's like raw physical power, and his berserker armor just allows him to keep going, basically at the cost of harming his body severely and possibly fusing with it. So, what I was thinking is, like a lot of, I know it's kind of a shonen-like sort of ending. All my friends are going to help me beat the final villain. We're all going to be there. But it kind of makes sense in the, like I was saying, to sort of help Griffith. And not only that, because Griffith wanted to be alone and do this by himself, to have his own kingdom for himself. It could also be a contrast to Guts learning about the importance of these people with him and them being his family. So, that could also help in that sense. Shirk's going to be there to help pull him out of the Berserker armor like she's always been. Farney could be like a supporter. Serpico could be another guy on the front line sort of helping him. It could just be a big group team effort with everyone working together to take this one overpowered god-like thing out. But then, okay, this wasn't in the notes, but this is just something I thought just right now. I remember hearing somewhere that Miura didn't, he kind of felt like the introduction of the idea of true evil was way too early within the story. So that kind of makes me wonder, is there going to be something beyond Griffith to fight? Is Griffith going to, I don't know. I was going to say, is Griffith going to help Guts fight true evil? But then I'm no. It's supposed to be based on Hamlet. I think some sort of Shakespeare play. I'll have to do some research on that, which I should have done before this, but like I said, this last thing I just came up with just right here on the spot. But I think that's really all I had to cover. Going back to the other point, no, it was just reaffirming the just thoughts on how I think the Guts versus Fight Griffith's gonna end. You know what I mean? That could be the title, actually. Yeah, let's do that. If you have anything to add, anything to criticize, things to point me around to, feel free to do so in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas and what I have to say, or just other thoughts in general as to, what other theorists, YouTubes. I don't know if there's theorists for this. I'm used to One Piece. But anyways, have a good night. Bye.